Hey, welcome to Cinemondo, Kathy and Mark.
Hi, everybody.
I wanted to show you my new Tamil shirt. It's not Malayalam. I should be wearing a Malayalam shirt, but it's from our store, Spread Shop. You see it? Well, we have a link in our description and under our videos usually. But we have a bunch of Cinemondo logos in different languages.
I think it's pretty cool that, Cinemondo, which is, it's an interesting word, and sort of like how we can put it in different lettering and put it on a bunch of things, whether it's coffee mugs or T-shirts or all kinds of stuff. So take a look. Spread the Cinemondo love. Yeah.
Buy your logo in your language.
Yes, we'll start working in other languages too. Exactly. But we're going to do a film that's a couple of years old. It's a Malayalam film called Lucifer that stars Mohanlal and Prithviraj Sukumaran and Tovino Thomas. And feel free to request like Ken does. So we're doing that today. And I don't know anything about this movie other than it is sort of about a kind of a Godfather type of character. I'm guessing played by Mohanlal and his life. So that is and of course, if you haven't considered joining our membership program, we'd love it if you did, because it's really fun and you get to chat with other people that are talking about all kinds of films from all over the world. We concentrate on a lot of Indian cinema, and it's a broad range of films. Of course, if you're interested in all that, think about what you get for $2.99 a month. You get everything in the yellow. $4.99 you get also the member request video, which is what this is.
And there's also our Patreon, which we're ramping up again. We've been getting a little more quiet on there because we've been dealing with YouTube memberships, but it's separate. You'll get content before YouTube members do, but eventually you will get it all. But there is a few extra perks. You get the new, we're going to do watch along full films. We're going to start doing that. You'll see the full unedited version, which we can't show on YouTube because of copyright. Right. So if you see it privately, you can watch along with us, and it'll be fun. Super appreciate it.
We really do. So
we really do.
Without further ado, let's take a look at the trailer for this film that came out a couple of years ago called Lucifer.
All right, everybody, connect your headphones.
Yes.
ഒരു മാലാഖ് കൂട്ടവുമുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ദൈവം ഒരു വലിയ രാജ്യത്തിൻ്റെ രാജാവായിരുന്നതുകൊണ്ട് കുറേ കള്ളന്മാർ മാലാഖമാരായി ചമഞ്ഞ് ദൈവത്തിൻ്റെ മാളികയിൽ കയറിക്കൂടി. അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ദിവസം ദൈവം മരിച്ചു. മാലാഖമാരായി അത്രയും കാലം വേഷമിട്ട കള്ളന്മാരുടെ കയ്യിലായി ഭരണം. അങ്ങനെ ആ നാട് ദൈവത്തിനെ കൊന്ന് ദൈവത്തിന്റെ സ്വന്തം നാടായി.
PK രാംദാസ് എന്ന വൻമരം വീണു. പകരം ആര്? അതാണ് ചോദ്യം. സ്റ്റീഫൻ നെടുമ്പള്ളി.
ചെറിയ പുള്ളി അല്ലവൻ, പഠിച്ച കള്ളനാണ്.
This is the world's biggest comedy day. It's called Indian politics.
Z category drugs. കേരളത്തിലേക്ക് അൺചെക്ഡായി ലാൻഡ് ചെയ്യിക്കാനുള്ള സൗകര്യം. That's my offer.
Give me one good reason not to kill me.
യുദ്ധം നന്മയും തിന്മയും തമ്മിലല്ല, തിന്മയും തമ്മിലാണ്.
Kill that bastard.
ഹിന്ദുക്കൾക്ക് ഇവൻ മഹിരാവണൻ, ഇസ്ലാമിൽ അവൻ ഇബലീസ് എന്ന് പറയും, ക്രിസ്ത്യാനികൾക്കിടയിൽ അവൻ ഒരു പേരേ ഉള്ളൂ, ലൂസിഫർ.
This deal is with the devil.
Wow. Okay. It's interesting to see all the Christian iconography in there, and it seemed very. I felt like I was almost looking, and because it's called Lucifer, I was seeing like almost like a possession movie or something. Because they have all of the church and the cross, and then title Lucifer, and they talk about deal with the devil, and all. It's like it's really strange to see that in an Indian film.
It is. I mean, first of all, if you're named Lucifer, you come with some, there's some.
His name is Stephen.
Okay, I know.
There's there's only one name for this man, Stephen.
Yeah, Stephen.
It was a little anticlimactic when you found out his name there.
But I agree with you. It felt like that. It felt like some sort of possession film with all that. But obviously, there's a lot of political intrigue dealing with, mob and sort of that intricacy, which is always sort of fascinating because what happens in all parts of every country. Politics is merged with some sort of underworld stuff and some back deals and all that, and how intense it gets. This, especially being in Kerala and Malayalam, it's not only India, but it's every faction of Indian politics. It feels like this. It's complex. But it looks beautifully told, and the production value looks totally high end, and it looks like a very kind of adult thriller. Meaning, like you have to watch this movie to understand what's going on.
That's right. I liked how everyone's dressed in white. They talk about the angels, and there's a lot of white clothing in the beginning. Yeah. The palette was very, very bright and light oriented. Lots of light streaming through windows and stained glass, and then the angels, and then it's like all hell breaks loose. You see all the wardrobe and more uniforms. You see the beige uniforms the cops are wearing, and then you see he comes in, he's wearing white again, and he's coming in, he's got the black hair, and he's with Lucifer. I love how they kind of played with the colors and what we expect, with all the choral music, and it's very epic, sounding. And yet they threw in a few little unexpected things, like it becomes political and it becomes more about almost like a gangster movie with politics overlaid into the Christian Islam. Yeah. Oh, it's very complex. A lot of stuff woven in, but still done in that sort of Malayalam grounded. It feels pretty realistic. A few slow motion things, but it really and that actor definitely dominates the screen when he's on there, and so he's another one of those Mahmoodi style where when he's on the screen you don't look at anything else. Right.
No, I agree with that. The groundedness of the Malayalam style. Plus, of course, it does turn when the word blood comes on, and then there's all of a sudden kill him, and then there's weapons and stuff. You go, okay, now it turns into that. So that combination is always great. It's always really interesting because I think you'll learn something, because this is probably based maybe not on total fact, but I'm sure the underpinnings of it have a lot to do with reality. So that's compelling, because that's something I would learn, how does politics really work in a complex country like India, so anyway.
And religion is very political, especially now. It used to rule the world in a way when you think about it. Now it's it's still influencing voters. It still has a huge grasp of politics and issues. So I like how they're kind of bringing that into it, and then kind of weaving it into the fact it's a deal with the devil, because technically religion and politics to me is a deal with the devil. So you see that happen, you're like, this could be very interesting.
Yeah, and it gets, and usually if there's any kind of religious strife, that it usually turns into blood and fights and war, and blood is shed. Usually blood is shed. So, hell yes, no stars. All right, I think this is the Z Studios poster. It's doing the Star Cell, everyone in white again. That's a big clearly they're using the color palette, the white, to show some sort of purity, and also just it's just cool looking. It's interesting how the C, the F, and the E are backwards.
Because it's the devil.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know. True. Yeah, especially with the F, which sort of has a cross, connotation there.
Yeah,
obviously.
You're right. So, that's true, and it's still readable, which is tricky when you're doing weird stuff like that with type. Is you're still able to read it as Lucifer. Your eyes are kind of looking around, but it sort of does give the idea of people are seeing things a different way.
Yeah,
kind of like that little symbolism. And then we have, and some of these might be fan posters, because sometimes I just like to put them up there because they're cool looking. I like this because it looks pure Godfather. It's this cool,
right? This cool old car,
Blood, Brotherhood, Betrayal. This looks like,
and the 666, license plate is fun.
Oh, so good. Yes. Oh my God, so funny.
Yeah.
And we have this other one that's more commercial, and that's just they've toned it down to just two people in the cast. So it looks a little less a bunch of dudes,
Right,
which is what a
right.
lot of these are.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the light streaming through the window, kind of giving a little bit of a connotation. Almost looks like a window, and then has that arch where it starts looking more biblical and interesting, religious.
But it looks
like
really
Rose made it.
compelling.
Yeah,
and
it does.
Malayalam were always down for their films because they for me, I feel like I'm going into a world that I'm not familiar with.
Yes.
And I'm really getting in on the ground level, whether it's a cop drama or a drama, or some sort of family drama or whatever it is, even a comedy, it really kind of works. So they're always, you're sort of, hey, I'm going somewhere else for 2 hours. Nothing wrong with that.
Somewhere else. Maybe a movie. So thanks for joining us, and buy a shirt, comment, subscribe, join Patreon,
all that stuff,
join the membership, whatever you can do. It would be helpful. Thank you.
We really appreciate it, honestly. Okay, everybody, take care. Bye-bye.